Well, we're out here at Brainered International Raceway. This is actually one of the events that I really like in the year because I get to do so many different disciplines of racing. As you can see, the arrow is kind of taking off of the car right now. That's because the event that I like doing so much here is TTS, which is Triple Track Showdown. So we actually have times that are scored based upon drag racing, autocross, and then doing a standing start shootout on the road course. And it's pretty cool that being able to set the car up and do all three events, and then you're kind of scored and get points based on where you place in class against all the other cars for each different event. Drag racing is one that this car is obviously not built and set up for, but you can get quite a bit of points if you do well there. So currently I have the car set up and ready to drag race. So the obvious first thing to do is pull the arrow off because the wing would be drag. The splitter is off as well because that's just kind of extra weight and drag that we don't need going down the drag strip. The front tires are aired up. The rear tires are aired down. And the shocks are the big thing that I changed. So I set them so that to try to get the weight to transfer to the back, so compression is soft in the rear and stiff in the front, and then rebound is stiff in the rear and soft in the front, so I can kind of get the car to set and kind of hold, keep the weight back. So other than that, it's just about trying to do a decent burnout and warm it up. I do have some GoPros set up, so we should get some pretty decent shots there. Hopefully I'm going to have the one that's right on the side of the car and aim down back of that tire to kind of see how much it squats and stuff during launch. I know we're going to blow the tires off of it. It happens every time. It's kind of just what it is, especially running a tire like that. I'm in Street Unlimited, so basically we got to have a 200 treadwear tire still. So I can't just go put a set of drag slicks on here, although I know if I did, there'd probably be another second and a half in drag strip time, or at least a second. But we just gotta see what we can do with the street tires and go from there.
Yeah.
singing. Hello, good. I did my best run by far ever.
And you improved time-wise.
Yeah, time-wise, I kept improving each one.
And then your, like I said, your reaction times stayed roughly the same, but they were always...
Yeah, the reaction times don't matter for the points for the TTS, but...
I get that, but, you know...
But yeah, no, I was, this car, let's see, back in the spring, I only ran a 1348 with it, I believe.
Yeah.
My first pass was a 1342, and then I went 13.2 something, and my 60 foot was worse because I spun the tires a little bit more, but my mile an hour was a lot better because I was able to commit to more throttle in second gear. So I went up for my third run, and it's like, all right, don't spin the tires in first and get the throttle for second, and it'll be a pretty good run. And sure enough, I like just barely spun the tires getting off the line, and freaking 1277 at 108.5. Like, wow. Like, I know this car is like, if I threw a set of slicks on that, this car, I knew it was capable of that. And actually, it should be capable of a pretty low 12 if it ever put slicks on, because the 60 foot was still a 1972. But compared to a normal launch out of this thing where the 60 foot's 2.2 or higher, like, that was a freaking sweet run. And the arrow's all back on for autocross. I still need to readjust the shocks and air the rear tires back up, and then we'll be ready to autocross this afternoon. is Sunday morning. Autocross went pretty well last night. For TTS competitors, I was 9th, which a little bit lower than I normally do, but we got more competitors in the class this event. I don't know, I think it still is alright. It'll be interesting how the actual points mix up and stuff. But anyway, wasn't too bad. The way the point system works is based on the finishing position. So, but I mean, some of the fast guys were another 2 some seconds ahead of me. So it's, I don't know. I mean, if I had a little bit more in the car, I come my last run, but it was all right. I still did a pretty decent time, and then like one place ahead of me was a full second ahead. You know, so like the faster guys were pretty tight. I don't know. Now I'm just waiting around to get my couple of practice sessions on the road course. We'll see if I can go out and find a new PB. Shouldn't be too hard with the aero on the car now. You know, because I pretty easily set a new one back in the spring. So pretty much ready to go, waiting around to do that. It'll be another hour yet, and then we'll head out on the road course, get a couple of practice laps in, come back in, wait an hour, get a few more practice laps in, and then this afternoon the standing start will start up, and that'll be the final event for TTS. Alright, just finished up with TTS. The final event was standing start, and did pretty well, actually. I don't know where I placed or anything like that, but with the aero on the car and the setup different than what it was this spring, a full 2 seconds faster on the standing start, and earlier during practice I was a little over, I think about 1 or maybe 1.5 seconds faster on just straight lap time too. Obviously the aero works. Did have a little bit of a four-wheel slide through too a couple of times in my last one when I was pushing. I think it might have had even more time in it, but I kind of threw it away in the carousel because I went in too deep. Just couldn't get the boat up on the brakes. They were probably just a little bit warm and fading a bit. But yeah, no, pretty happy overall with the weekend. Probably hang around long enough to see where I ended up in the standings on everything, but it's been a great weekend. I think new personal bests all around, so